Hi, my name is Violet Price. I'm doing 2008 style video blogs, and I would like to talk about my movie because a lot has been going on with it. I will say that I had laryngitis for 11 days, which was hell. I'm a talker, as you may notice, and being able to talk was hell, and that's all I have to say about that. Back to my movie. They say you make a movie 3 times, and editing is one of those times. It's a whole time. It's a whole last time. And I had an editor I liked. He was hard to nail down, and I very luckily through Twitter and friends was referred to this amazing kid Alex, who is so fucking brilliant to work with. I made a movie that very specifically wants to be cool to a very specific audience. I guess my audience is like 23 to 29-year-old transgender lesbians. It's a niche, but they say if you make a movie for no one, if you make a movie for everyone is a movie for no one. So the way you make a movie for everyone is you focus on a really specific person. My friend who wrote books said, when you write a book, just try to pick one of your funny friends and just try to make them laugh. And that's how you write, because it's more personal. That's how it feels. So I'm trying very specifically when I write and make my movie and craft my choices to think about what a 27-year-old depressed lesbian trans woman would like. And to get a 27-year-old, I think that in that range, they're like going to get a One Piece tattoo. They're that into anime. They own 4 swords. Like it's like exactly the kind of person that I would like to make the movie for. And they seem to enjoy it. They're like legitimate fans of it. They feel the same way I do. We like edit it together and we get excited. It's so lucky to find like the person I vibed with most on this entire project. Probably. I've had some good vibes. I vibed with my friend Bugs a lot, and but like when me and Alex are working, they drink like 3 caffeinated beverages. They get all like crazy, which I love, and they just edit. Because like editing to me, when I try to edit, I immediately am just like, I slow the fuck down. I just move the same clip back and forth. But they're focused and they're a born editor. They're very talented, and having their perspective and vision on this project has been exactly what I wanted. As I mentioned in the previous blog, there was one cut done by like an older, probably white man, definitely older, and seeing that cut of my movie and what they brought to it versus what someone who gets it brings to it, I mean, it's been a phenomenal experience. I'm almost glad I had that bad experience just so that I appreciate this person more, although I could not appreciate this person more. Other things that have been going on, a weird thing about watching it is, because I watch it over and over again, I work on it every day. At the end of every day, not at the end of every, I'm trying not to watch it too much, because in the past I've been the kind of person who can just watch when I made the first short film, I'd watch it like 10 times in a row every night. And I just loved it, and I loved it. I used to make electronic music. I'd make a song for an hour, and I'd listen to it for 8 hours on loop. I'm not autistic, but I definitely have that autistic tendency. That I love my own work, and I just watch it over and over again, and I watch it critically. And to me, that's like part of the creative process for me, and I get really addicted to it. And I'm trying not to do that this time around. I only watch my movie all the way through when there is like a particular reason to, or someone new to watch it with. Although one night I was really high and I just watched the whole thing on my phone in a bar. It was like 80 minutes of just like, yeah, this movie is sick. This movie is sick. There's so many good scenes. One thing I don't know, I can't really talk about it yet, but I can say in vague terms that someone that I admire in the industry watched my movie. I got a call from them tonight, and they said things are going to happen with it, for real. Like I think I can say that they have a backup distribution plan. Like a small distribution place is talking to us, and we're going to see if we can get a bigger one before we even indulge that. But the fact that we already have a backup, like the fact that distribution is being talked about, I don't even know what that means. I've never made it this far. I've never made it. I'm like the dog who caught the car. I don't know what distribution means. Does that mean they pay me? I think so. Do they pay me a lot? Do they pay me then? What are they distributing it to? These are all things I do not know. But I'm going to learn the business pretty fast. Luckily, I have a partner who knows the business, and he kind of explains it to me. And I learn as I go. I just came from an amazing party. All my cool Twitter friends had a party, basically. Like I'm not cool enough to pretend that isn't really cool to me. Like my friend Cassie came, who I'm in love with. Sasha, who started my movie, came out. It was the first time I saw us at the movie. We were like celebrating the distribution news. My friend Violet, who is just the greatest person I've ever met. She's like, goddamn Violet. She threw it, and there were a million other people there. It was so fun. So I'm kind of high on that too. I had a really nice night. You know, I hadn't talked in 11 days. I got to go out and see all my cool LA friends and feel cool, which I do feel cool. I feel very cool right now. What up? What else has been going on? I feel like there's been so much I want to talk about for 11 days. My boobs look great. They get better every day. Is that possible? You tell me. This gun should hang a little higher. You get the idea of the outfit. It's been a long night. But, so funny when I switched from doing YouTube to Chaturbate. It's a whole different vibe, but not that different. I actually get more nerdy on Chaturbate. I often will explain neo-pronouns and get into gender theory. I wait till there's a lot of guys masturbating to me. Just like 50s, like when it's like when I'm doing good. 50, 60, it's gotten up to like 100. And then once I have a big following, then I like explain niche Twitter beef or neo-pronouns or being gender fey. Something that is only interesting to me, but that is like vaguely trans enough for my audience. And then you see how many guys I don't know why I'm telling this story, but I try to get as many guys, to keep as many guys masturbating while I explain like where Kettles fits into my community. I'm like the Andy Kaufman of Chaturbate. Side note. I'm going to be in a film festival too. Speaking of, one of my sick brags, something I'm very proud of, is I made the first T4T sex scene in film history. That is a brag. I think it is a beautiful scene. I think it is meaningful. I think the things they say during it are touching. I think as far as just like a beautiful scene in a movie goes, it's one of those beautiful things I've ever made. Certainly, in the larger story, it is the most beautiful story I've ever told, and it is a beautiful experience. And that will be screening at a film festival November 11th. If you're in LA, message me. It's going to be really fun. It's this film festival that's all run by sex workers. It's all like very my vibe, and it's going to screen there, and everyone's going to cheer for it. And it's been really exciting. I finally, I worked so much on this movie, and I put years into it by myself where no one gave a shit. And then you finish it, and it's good. And this is just a happy vlog. I'm so happy to have my voice back. I just want to say I'm happy to be alive. My makeup looks good as fuck. I love these earrings. My wife got a job, so I'm back on the slate to get some bigger boobs. Hopefully in 2 months I will have insanely huge titties. I don't like the word titties. I take that back. I will have insanely huge tits. No way I'm posting this. There's absolutely no way I'm posting this. What else is going on, video blog? I'm at 7:30. I'll give myself till 10. That's just it. I'm working on my next project, which is a really weird question. I kind of want to see how this is received before I make any big decisions. But I think the next thing I'm pitching very vaguely is like a trans Big Lebowski. It would just be like the most unemployed trans person in the world. Maybe played by me, maybe played by Bugs. I can't decide. I want to do it for me, but we'll see. We'll both be in the movie, that's for sure. I don't know who's Walter Slopechek. I might end up the Walter Slopechek of the movie. But I think it's a good excuse to have like an unemployed, like a lot of weird characters. Like I really enjoy doing weird characters, and I know a lot of weird people. I like basing characters on them. And having someone who wanders around unemployed on drugs and meets a bunch of other weirdos and like polycules and like all that like culture that I live in. I think it'd be a good excuse to get a lot of people I know to do scenes. Because the cool thing about Big Lebowski is it's always like Jeff Daniels or Jeff Bridges, and like one other person. And it's like Jeff Bridges doing 25, 30 different scenes with 30 different actors. And as someone who thinks casting is definitely the most interesting part of a movie, and who like I really believe that like if I have anything, it's that I know a lot of weird people and I like to write roles for them. That's like something I'm in love with and that I love doing, and it's so exciting when it works. And I have so many friends I'm like, you should be in a movie, and I want to shoot scenes. And the other thing is, if there's enough scenes, you can just shoot them, and if they're bad, you don't use them, which is happening in my movie a lot. Every scene in my movie is my favorite scene. It was a running joke on set. I'd always be like, this is the most important scene, and people would be like, you said that about every scene? But it was the most important scene. Most of them were the most important scene because, unfortunately, I made a movie where like there's a lot of key scenes, and if they didn't, luckily my actors were amazing. They nailed all the important ones. There were two unimportant scenes, it kills me to say it, that I have to cut, that were the most beautiful scenes, but whatever. That's movie making. You gotta kill your darlings or whatever, but it hurts. Every line hurts. And cutting every line hurts because, you make a movie 3 times, and the first time I made it, I got my writing fucking tight. Every line conceptually is important to me. especially certain lines. But then you get into editing and you're like, maybe this line ain't so important, maybe this line ain't so important, yada, yada, yada. And your editor is not as precious about it. More importantly, they cut an entire comedy scene with one of my favorite comedians. And they just didn't find it funny. And like, I found it pretty funny. I don't know, like, but at the end of the day, the reason I'm paying this person is because they're a 25-year-old lesbian, which are 27, and that is my audience. And if they don't think it's funny, I'm going with their instincts because that's what they. I have to trust them, and I do trust them. So if they want to cut certain things that are really good, maybe they're right. I think the hardest part, or I think it's important to understand that, like, it's important that when you hire someone to do something, you let them do it. I've been hired many times on jobs where they bring you in to be creative and then they veto you, and you're like, well, there was one movie, like, I came in, I lit it by myself all night. I'm not a great lighting person. It's not I'm okay. I can do cool looks, but I spent all night. I brought my wife, and we lit this scene beautifully for my friend who was making short. It was his first short film, so of course he made all what I consider the mistakes. And the next morning, he's like, "No, like I have a new idea. Let's do it in this other room." And I'm like, "Okay, like, well, my wife's not here to help me, and like I had this." And they just. My point is, if you hire someone, you got to let them cook. So I'm letting Alex cook. I'm putting my life in your hands. Person I met on Twitter 2 weeks ago. It's funny, this thing, I've been so precious with it all the way, and then I just meet like a 27-year-old in anime, and I'm like, yeah, you have Final Cut. If you want, like, just like, I'm burned out on it. I acknowledge that to a certain degree. Everyone is when you spend like 3 years writing something and 2 months shooting it, and like, I am very precious with things, and I'm not an objective viewer. I'm not bad either, though. It's not like I don't, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm letting purple elephants in or anything, but you know how it is. Anyway, that is an okay blog. I guess it returned to form. Damn, I should just like sit with my tits out better because they are the show. This guy needs to be higher. Should I start over? I don't know. Anyway, I love you. Oh, that's the other thing. Someone told me they loved me like 200 times in a row at a party, and it was great. They figured me out. Anyway, have a good night. Bye.